the same time, you will still keep the principles of the rules that apply to this city. So on backlash right now, but things, come on, let's separate the artists from the art. Let's enjoy the game. Every artist matches the lecture. Personally, I missed out on it growing up. I'm watching it now, honestly. I heard about the awesome play. I'm incredible. The fact that I didn't know a damn thing about it. So now here I am, a week and a half later, third movie in, heading to the fourth one actually after I record this one to watch that tonight, and I'm hoping.
But it is nonetheless important to the manufacturing of all of the Trump misinformation we've heard for the last 2 months and years. And we're talking about the life of Eric, Laura Trump. Because in this video, we have to cover two distinct things. One, Laura Trump immediately, suddenly, just out of the blue, and it's entirely old Johnny's fault. So I wonder if she's going to be upset about that. But also, he was just booted from a live discussion at Fox in one of the most humiliating ways possible. While Trump was just booted in the middle of a live conversation, and fundamentally, there's now we have to see that whether they're getting rid of Trump people, Trump family members, or whether they're getting rid of Trump himself, it's got nothing to do with morals or ethics. Really, it's actually about the weakening of Donald Trump and the fact that they perceive some alternatives. Listen to this clip because it really highlights how both the GOP and Trump, even though they haven't fully connected or disconnected yet, now they see alternatives and it's easier to envision it.
Let me read you how to change the values we should terminate all of the negotiations in order to keep the notice down in the election that was concluded today. No honest person can now deny that Trump is an enemy of the Constitution. Are we really going to see the party get twisted into a puzzle by Trump once again on these kinds of questions? I mean, what do you think?
What we're seeing now is there is a, back to Hollywood, Donald Trump is the nominee. Not smart statement on Trump's behalf. He has been, now we have other choices. Now he is going against a big field of Republicans in 2024 that are consistent conservatives, they are rational conservatives, they are common sense conservatives, and they are not as divisive as him. And I hate to inform the former president, the Constitution is not like that now. You can't just get rid of it when it no longer suits your purposes. The Constitution is here to protect the rights of all Americans. It is not there to change the past election of a self-serving American. And he is absolutely ludicrous. And I guarantee you, the more you ask conservatives and Republicans about this statement, they will say this is not right. And they're going to separate themselves from these kind of statements.
Yeah, Alice, the Constitution is not like the buffet at Mar-a-Lago. You can't skip past the items of I'm sorry, April, let me ask you that. The Constitution is not like the Mar-a-Lago buffet. You can't just skip past the items you don't like. What do they do? April, can you hear me? Oh, looks like you might have lost April. For the House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy. It's not clear yet whether or not he's going to have the votes to become the next Speaker of the House. He has said he plans to read the entire Constitution from the House floor. But yet, McCarthy has yet to condemn Trump for, calling it incriminating the Constitution. This is a problem.
It is, and look, a lot of people are not going to be proactive to come out and announce these statements, but if that, I guarantee you, Jim, there's no space in American politics for this. Kevin McCarthy is in a very tough battle, maybe the battle of his life in terms of trying to get the votes necessary for him to be speaker, and he's going against other Republicans who are very pro-Trump. So he has to really thread standing up for the Constitution, for the American people, without poking the bear, poking against the people that are speaking out against the speaker. So I guarantee if he was asked, he would announce his statement, but he's trying to do what he can to maintain his attempt to get the votes.
Yeah. I'm calling for the determination of the Constitution. I mean, it's extraordinary. I know that judges from time to time, they try to gin up, coverage or what appears to be a false, one presidency at a time. But you can't ignore what is essentially a threat to the Constitution that we express.
Georgia, New York, and states and other he is going into this attempt to be president of the United States again in his 2024 efforts as a weekend candidate because of the past, because of all of these investigations. This
denier. And Fuentes, and he put out 3 statements saying, well, he didn't know Fuentes was coming, which may be true, and he didn't know who Fuentes was, which may be true, but not making any kind of statement about the abhorrent views of this.
Well, first and foremost, you shouldn't be meeting with Kanye West here. He's been, saying and tweeting and doing for weeks on end. We've all unfortunately had a front row seat here watching this kind of extremely dangerous First and foremost, you should not meeting with Kanye West and anti-Semites. And they include one of the most dangerous, notorious white supremacists, Holocaust deniers, also anti-Semites, and then to have dinner with them. I just don't understand how if you and Kristen invited me to dinner and said, I'm inviting X person, and I don't know who they are, and it says, dinner, I'm going to find out who they are, and I'm not going to try to look at you. Report the anonymous people from Instagram that are really who what this narrative is, how horrific this is. I think it's just another example of why he's completely upset to want to spread it right now.
Well, it's a week after he announced, and he's getting a lot of bad press, and yes, some of his advisors seem upset. What the press is saying is that even if he didn't know anything about Fuentes, he didn't say anything about his views, and most Republicans, not Chris Christie and others who want to run against him, have been silent.
I mean, he said, this guy gets me. Now, I don't understand, why you would
announce you're running for president and then invite somebody to like Kanye West and then not know who else.
His business partners.
Okay, fine. And he said that a couple days later, right? So I just think it makes no sense to take a meeting, something like that. You should know who that is, and again.
Seriously, why do you do it? You ignore the signs. That's my mom behind those phones. How would you feel? Why do you like me move over?
What's going on, everybody? It's Frito here for your Overwatch. Season 2 has me incredibly worried for Overwatch 2 because it seems like they're committing to a lot of terrible strategies that turned Season 1 a turn for the worse. In the previous video, I talked about how Blizzard did not keep their promises. Surprise, surprise. They did more frequent balancing, communication, the game will be treated like a live service. None of that came out to be true. It made the game worse than it performed in beta in many ways. The meta isn't great, and counterpicking is way too strong, considering this is supposed to be a game where you don't feel the need to have all the heroes. You can't have it both ways, Blizzard. The game can't be incredibly counterpick heavy and paywall heroes, otherwise the game becomes...
Yeah.
But not only is that a concern, with their wait-and-see attitude towards making proactive changes, we're seemingly going to be doomed to always be playing catch-up to correct the old problems in time for new problems to emerge. One of the best examples is Genji, a character that was dominating in the Ana meta because he both sinks with and sort of attacks well when they're on the enemy team. Then we went into a Kiriko meta, who benefits characters that want to stand and deliver as opposed to flank. Down boost on a flanker is much more effective, whereas a more stationary target that plays in Kitsune Rush is better with Kiriko, and she has the mobility to dodge and dual Genji anyway. So even if they didn't nerf Genji, he probably would have been worse in this meta anyway. And they've already said that they want to look at the DPS passive, which is also another reason why he got overly buffed Season 1, but then won't compensate to revert the nerf they put into him originally. And their logic on Soldier doesn't make any sense either, because it's not like they overly buff other skill shot characters for lower tier players to get great value out of anyway. A lot of just terrible reasoning and poor decision making, which all of this was kind of expected from the Overwatch team in Overwatch 1, so I guess I should have expected it now. But the problem is when it becomes pay to win, and we haven't really felt the full ramification of this yet in the game, because so many current players either got the login bonus for Season 1, which gets you, quote-unquote, Sojourn and Joker Queen, or they also own Overwatch 1, which gets you those and Kiriko. In Season 2, we'll finally get an actual paywall hero. Ramatra, we expect, is going to require level 55 of the Battle Pass or an instant unlock by paying your $10. And although we will have a 2-week competitive lockout at the start of Season 2 where they attempt to balance him, that's not enough for a casual player to get the hero. And as you move on through more hero editions, remember, the Season 1 login ends in Season 1. So there's multiple heroes now that any new player subsequent coming down the line won't have access to, including Sojourn, Rico, and Joker Queen. They'll have to do challenges to unlock those old heroes. We don't know how hard it is to get those. And certainly at least 2 of the 3 that I just mentioned are incredibly meta, counter-pick defending type heroes that dominate the game competitively. Season 2 is where the rubber hits the road with these claims and strategies Blizzard has set out. And I don't think they're in any way ready to make the changes necessary to actually fix this. Because Season 1, there's the honeymoon period, a lot of players just trying it out for the first time. Season 2 is going to get serious, because the gap between the haves and the have-nots with the hero roster is going to be felt palpably. Now, of course, I was more okay with this when we had the beta version of the game, where multiple team comps were meta at the same time, which is a very difficult thing for Overwatch to do. And I thought, okay, fine, they solved it, they figured it out, they understand how to balance this game, but then they started adding things and make changes for change's sake alone. They just have a wait-and-see attitude about mixing up the hero hierarchy. And if they're going to have that attitude, the game badly needs a draft mode yesterday, because otherwise, how else are we going to not be victims to pay-to-win escalating in the game as seasons go on and more new players come that don't have access to a increasingly sized roster of extra heroes? Mind you, the extra heroes are often the strongest. So it's not only, okay, well, there's 4 to 6 heroes or whatever in the next year that a new player won't have access to. They're also, like, often mainly the best one for the given role or need. Now, let's talk specifically about Ramontra for a second. My first worry about Ramontra is that she's actually too weak. And I'm saying this just based on looking at his kit on paper. A transformation do everything thou think is going to need to be broken in order to be applicable. If it becomes out balanced, it just won't be played because team comps in Overwatch want to hard think on an idea and cover each other's weaknesses with combinations in the comp. Heroes that do everything need to be broken in order to work. Because whereas a hero like Sigma, who you can say has a little bit of everything, he only really works on his best map. It takes quite a lot of setting up to get to work. Because there's better brawlers than the kit Ramontra has listed, like the numbers for his brawling would have to be better than Orisa and Reinhardt for him to be better than Orisa and Reinhardt, or even Joker Quake. And then for his shielding and poking, that is unique, being able to put up a shield and poke a target from range. Winston can do that, Sigma can do that, and they also do a lot of other things. And while Ramontra might be more brawly than Sigma, Sigma's damage is nuts, and Winston's mobility is nuts. So what does Ramontra even have on paper that separates it? At the moment, I think Ramontra's going to be weak. Just guessing. But we always know developers don't want little heroes to be weak. So they're probably going to buff him to make him good. But that then leads to the pay-to-win problem. Because then we have to have him in order to compete. Both ways will do. The game can't be incredibly counter-pick heavy and paywall heroes, otherwise the game becomes pay-to-win. So not only is that a concern, with their wait-and-see attitude towards making proactive changes, we're seemingly going to be doomed to always be playing catch-up to correct the old problems in time for new problems to emerge. One of the best examples is Genji, a character that was dominating in the Ana meta because he both syncs with and sort of attacks well when they're on the enemy team. Then we went into a Kiriko meta, who benefits characters that want to stand and deliver as opposed to flank. Now who's on a flanker, who's much more effective, whereas a more stationary target that plays into Kuni Rush is better with Kiriko. And she has the ability to dodge and move Genji anyway. So even if they didn't work Genji, he probably would have been worse in this meta anyway. And they've already said that they want to look at the DPS passive, which is also another reason why he got overly buffed with one, and won't compensate to revert the nerf they put in for him originally, and then lots of times. Silver doesn't make any sense either, because it's not like they overly buffed other skill-shot characters or lower-tier players to get great value out of anyway. A lot of just terrible reasoning and poor decision-making, which all of this was kind of expected from the Overwatch team in Overwatch 1, so I guess we should have expected it now. The problem is when it becomes pay to win, and we haven't really felt the full ramification of this yet in the game, because so many current players either got the login bonus for Season 1, which gets you, quote-unquote, Sojourn and Joker Queen, or they also own Overwatch 1, which gets you those and Kiriko. And Season 2 will finally get an actual paywall hero. Ramontra, we expect, is going to require level 55 of the Battle Pass or an instant unlock by paying your $10. And although we will have a 2-week competitive lockout at the start of Season 2 where they attempt to balance him, that's not enough for a captain in Season 1. So there's multiple heroes now that any new player subsequent to coming back to 9 has access to, including Sojourn, Rico, have to be satisfied to unlock those old heroes and don't know how to get those. So all the mentioning that is incredibly Season 2 is where the rubber hits the road with these claims and strategies Blizzard has set out. And I don't think there is any way to make the changes necessary to actually fix this. Because season 1, there's the honeymoon period, a lot of players are trying it out for the first time. Season 2, it's going to get serious. Because the gap between the haves and the have-nots with the hero roster is going to be felt palpably. Now, of course, I was more okay with this when we had the beta version of the game, where multiple team comps were met at the same time. It's a very difficult thing for Overwatch to do, and I thought, okay, fine, they solved it, they figured it out, they understand how to balance this game, but then they started adding things and make changes for changes' sake alone. Now they're just straight up behind. They don't have the data to make informed decisions for the future because they refuse to do proactive changes that coincide with a very obvious combination. For example, even they knew Hog would be busted with Kiriko in the game. They just have a wait-and-see attitude about mixing up the hero hierarchy. And if they're going to have that attitude, the game badly needs a draft mode yesterday. Because otherwise, how else are we going to not be victims to Kato Win escalating in the game as seasons go on and more new players come that don't have access to a increasingly sized roster of extra heroes? Mind you, the extra hero roster is strong. So it's not only, okay, well, there's 4 to 6 heroes or whatever in the next year that a new player will have access to. They're also like often mainly the best one for the given role or need. Now, let's talk specifically about Ramontra for a second. My first worry about Ramontra is that she's actually too weak. And I'm saying this just based on looking at his hits on paper. The transformation through everything style tank is going to need to be broken in order to be applicable. If he comes out balanced, he just won't be played because team comps in Overwatch want to hard think on an idea and cover each other's weaknesses with combinations in the comp. Heroes that do everything need to be broken in order to work. Because whereas Sigma, who I can say has a little bit of setting up to get to work. Because there's better brawlers than the current Ramontra has listed, the number of brawlers is better in Orisa and Reinhardt, or it would be better in Orisa and Reinhardt, or even Joker Quake. And then for his shielding and poking, that is unique, being able to put up a shield and poke a target from range. But Winston can do that, Sigma can do that, and they also can do lots of other things. And while Winston might be more brawling than Sigma's damage is cut, and Winston's more good at it. So whereas Ramontra even has on paper separation,
That is one thing I agree with Marvel's Avengers is that it's lasting a lot longer than I anticipated. I thought this thing would be dead by now, but I mean, the game came out back in September 1st, 2020. It's been over 2 years since its release, and somehow it's still online, and they are releasing new content for it. Unfortunately, that new content is not particularly compelling. It's not helped by the initial receptions for this game. The meta score, the user score, both quite low due to both technical issues and design issues, and just turning this game into a live service, a genre that just isn't well suited for what many hoped would end up being more of like a single player type of experience, or at least something more campaign driven with potential co-op elements in there. Mainly people just wanted like a Marvel Spider-Man type of thing, but done with the Avengers. We didn't get that. We got a live service that really is not among the best live services out there, does not stand out in this crowded pack. It's just very generic and boring overall, unfortunately. even if there are aspects of combat and the mechanics surrounding it that are compelling, but you just can't play the entire game. Which is why the player base continues to be paltry compared to its all-time peak of almost 30,000 players, 20,145 according to Steam charts, which by itself isn't really even all that impressive when it comes to peak concurrent players for a live service. Usually with live service, the one player base to be sustained or hell increase over time if you keep making compelling content.
Crimes against Skyrim and her people.
September 2022.
What say you in your defense?
There's this gradual decrease with occasional spikes.
We're going to rot in the
release, but as of late, we're looking at numbers in the low triple digits, low 200s. We're seeing a bit of a resurgence in players because there was a new content release. Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier, was recently added. That serves as sort of the blood and the lifeline of a game like this, where you do want to be able to find other players easily, and you want a driver. And the situation isn't helped by the fact that when the game finally does release new content as a live service, that content just isn't compelling enough, and it just becomes clear that this game is running on fumes, that they definitely downsized the development team for this game. It just shows that this game is running out of steam and ideas. So with this latest update, they did things like increase the power level cap to give more reasons to grind, essentially, but they did also add the Winter Soldier. And that'd be cool if it weren't for the fact that the addition of this character doesn't feel as substantial as it could, because it is yet another Echo character, essentially. It also doesn't help matters that the character model for the Winter Soldier is being panned for its rather generic-looking character modeling and design. It just looks off, you know what I mean? Which is like, that all of the Marvel heroes face
Jarl
in
Baldock
Marvel
is not
Avengers,
receiving
just think
visitor
about the way they were brought to life. That
Well,
makes them
that
look like
explains why the guards let you in.
of the
Come on,
characters.
Jarl will
Who's
have
this then? So you were Italian. You saw this dragon with your own eyes? By Smear, Irileth was right. What do you say now, Proventus? Shall we continue to trust in the strength of our walls against the dragon?
My lord, we should send troops to Riverwood at once. It's in the most immediate danger. If that dragon is lurking in the mountains,
The Jarl of Falkreath will view that as a provocation. He'll assume we're preparing to join Ulfric's side and attack him. We should not.
I'll not stand idly by while the dragon burns my hold and slaughters my people. Irileth, send a detachment to Riverwood at once.
yes, my Jarl.
If you'll excuse me, I'll return to my duties.
That would be best. Well done. You sought me out on your own initiative. You've done Whiterun a service. I won't forget it. Here, take this as a small token of my esteem. There is another thing you could do for me. Suitable for someone of your particular talents, perhaps. Come, let's go find Farengar, my court wizard. He's been looking into a matter related to these dragons and rumors of dragons.
40% on purchases through December 22nd. That's rich.com/youngyeah. And with a 99-day money-back guarantee and a lifetime warranty on all purchases, you'll have ample savings to ensure that they are to your satisfaction. But going back to the Winter Soldier edition to Marvel's Avengers, at least if this felt like a substantial new hero addition and character addition to the game, people might be able to overlook it, but then people found out that this is very much a character that recycles existing moveset, especially where Captain America is concerned, but also combines some elements of Black Widow into this one character. So this is a video that gained a bit of traction, thousands of likes, highlighting the fact that the Winter Soldier sort of basic combo attacks are the exact same animation as the one for Captain America. You can see this yourself. So you can see the 1, 2, 3, and the kick, and the thrust, and the arm shove, and all these things. He will eventually show Captain America's moveset. Right here you can see he'll immediately switch to Captain America as he, engages with his moveset. You can see it's pretty much damn near identical animations. And a lot of people are kind of highlighting how this really shows that this game has no budget, is what this user speculates. The Avengers budget is not existing at this point, my god. And plenty of people have been mocking the fact that, man, after all these years, after all this
I
time,
think
we
I
really
found
could
someone who
use
can
a
help you with
spark
your
of
dragon.
something
It seems this
that
damnable...
gives us hope that maybe there is an opportunity
Yes.
for this game to recover.
Well, when I
Give us
say
this,
fetch,
and it just feels very
you see,
deflating for a game that
when
already
sure,
feels like
Mark,
a
but I
pretty
began
sad
to
state.
search
And
for
scrolling down to my
information.
comments,
I
he seriously has the exact
go
same
to
moveset
Bleak
as
Falls
Captain
Barrow,
America. Is that
find
what
this
I'm
text.
seeing right now?
The
Literally
Dragon
exact
Stone of
same
Bleak Falls
animations
Barrow.
there in
You already found it.
Further
That
scrolling
is...
down, also Bucky can lift Mjolnir.
There's a
Both
tranquility in
animations
spells and
on
incantations
Bucky.
for those with the
Essentially,
talent to
Bucky
guess them.
responds to this other Twitter user. Now, mechanically speaking, the mechanism is exactly the same. There's some minor variations where it is a little different to play this character with movesets. Not to say like he's a complete one-to-one clone of the characters whose movesets were given to him, but it still doesn't change the fact that it would have been nice to have a character who feels wholly unique instead of like a mashup of two characters, especially when so many character releases for Marvel's Avengers thus far have been Echo characters. So, for example, scrolling down here through this list, Kate Bishop and Hawkeye are essentially echoes of each other. We've got Mighty Thor here, who is just an echo character, so on and so forth. Spider-Man, unfortunately, is just exclusive to PlayStation. Black Panther, I think, is among the more unique character releases, and that whole update with Black Panther, I think, was the most substantial update itself for this game. But even then, it doesn't feel like it's on the scale that gives you confidence that this is going to be a thriving long-term live service and that it has the potential for this great comeback. It just feels like it's coasting by and releasing yet another Echo-ish kind of character in the form of the Winter Soldier, who you could really go out of your way to give a more unique moveset. It's just discouraging. It really just doesn't paint a good picture surrounding this game's future. Now, over the last few years, people have data mined Marvel's Avengers, so we have an idea for what characters they might be working on. So right here, 1 year after the list of data mined characters, and we'll cross off the ones that are already out. And then beyond that, you got Ant-Man and the Wasp. They're probably going to be echoes of each other. Visions, Doctor Strange, Falcon, Marvel, Mockingbird, Quake. Winter Soldier's out now. Scarlet Witch, Captain Marvel, Shield. Going to be an echo character for Hulk, most likely. War Machine, an echo character for Captain America, potentially. But there are some characters here who could potentially see more unique movesets that could help spruce up the longevity of this game. Maybe, I don't know. But it just seems like such a distant hope with how infrequently these new characters get released, and when they do get released, it just doesn't feel like the development team did enough. Trying to do enough with the new.
Remember, your mind is the best weapon you have.
It just feels like this game is still just a running inevitable death. And no matter how many characters you add, the unfortunate matter of fact remains that the game spent.
I wonder what Irelef is so excited about.
You need to come at once. A dragon's been sighted nearby. You should come too.
A dragon? How exciting. Where was it seen? What was it doing?
I'd take this a bit more seriously if I were you. If a dragon decides to attack Whitehall, I don't know who can stop it.
Stats and all these different things. I feel like unless Marvel's Avengers gets a No Man's Sky style overhaul and level of support and level of transformation, this game's just never gonna return to the radars of people. There's much better, more engaging, more fun live service experiences out there because everyone just has a limited amount of time in their lives that they can spend playing video games. Many people right now feel like their time would go wasted being spent on Marvel's Avengers in its current state and at the rate in which it's releasing. Just
Is it attacking the watchtower?
No, my lord. It was just circling overhead when I left. I never ran so fast in my life. I thought it would come after me, for sure.
Good work, son. We'll take it from here. Head down to the barracks for some food and rest. You've earned it. Irileth, you'd better gather some guardsmen and get down there.
I've already ordered my men to muster near the main gate.
Good. Don't fail me. There's no time to stand on ceremony, my friend. I need your help again. I want you to go with Irileth and help her fight this dragon. You survived Helgen, so you have more experience with dragons than anyone else here. But I haven't forgotten the service you did for me in retrieving the dragon stone for Farengar. As a token of my esteem, I have instructed Avenici that you are now permitted to purchase property in the city. And please, accept this gift from my personal outfit.
Come along. I would very much like to see this dragon.
No, I can't afford to risk both of you. I need you here working on ways to defend the city against these dragons.
As you command.
One last thing, Irileth. This isn't a death or glory mission. I need to know what we're dealing with.
Don't worry, my lord. I'm the very soul of caution.
I have something for you too.
Not so genius. Billionaire Elon Musk just announced that Neuralink, one of his many companies, Archer manufacturing in the brain, will be ready to start putting computer chips in human brains in 6 months. For someone who can't figure out a verification check system, this seems like a bad move. But you do you, boo. There's just one huge problem. When Neuralink tested this technology on a group of monkeys,
I envy you the chance to... I had you figured for me. I think you'll appreciate this.
If that's the way he's going to do it, though, can we start with Musk? Can we start with his brain? Let's talk about Musk's disturbing plans in general for Neuralink. A brief summary of the technology. Neuralink is a device that will be embedded in humans' brains to monitor and potentially stimulate brain activity. The device consists of a microchip and wires that will be threaded through a patient's skull into the brain. Cool technology. I've seen it done years ago, not through his company. That can really help people, but not in the ramshackle, roughshod way Elon Musk does things. He likes to talk about medicinal uses for his tech that could be. Neuralink's brain-computer interface, or BCI, would allow people to control a computer or mobile device wirelessly just by thinking about it, according to the company's website. The technology is primarily focused on serving people with paralysis and other neurological disorders, although Neuralink eventually wants to roll out a product with non-medical applications.
You know, if you've got the app...
For medical reasons, I think it's a great promise once you get the science right. For non-medical reasons, it's insane and it's going to ruin humanity, my opinion. What might those non-medical applications be? Musk has said humans are already cyborgs on account of their smartphones and computers. So Neuralink will further close that gap between human and machine in order to prepare us for the future. How about no thanks? Can we get a vote on that? Musk thinks adding a digital layer to the brain's limbic system and cortex may be humanity's only hope of matching the exponential and possibly sinister rise of artificial intelligence that Musk has forced upon us himself basically anyway, so thank you for that as well. According to him, humans may otherwise sink to the level of house cats. Our glorious evolution from humans to machines will be starting shortly, according to Musk. He intimated on Wednesday that human trials could begin in the next 6 months, pending approval from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration for the device, roughly the size of a small stack of coins, roughly the size Sam Bankman-Fried has left, and would be implanted into the brain by a surgery-performing robot. Oh, nothing but a human's going to do good for the surgery. That's nice. Musk even said he'd get one implanted in himself eventually.
They say Helgen got hit by a dragon. Thank you. I'll be sure to put it to good use.
This guy is a menace.
I'll take my leave.
How many companies can he run and do poorly?
Yeah. So a couple of years ago, we did a poll on byt.com/polls. Elon Musk, yes or no? You guys voted no, so you were ahead of the curve by about 3 to 1. But the reason we even had that poll is because we were having a conversation about.
It took me weeks to find out. I can't stop now, but I can't get this sorted out.
But in the Tesla is electric cars. That's a good thing. Renewable energy, etc. So if you go back even further, there was a debate like since 3 hours. We thought there was 3 options. One is that, the guy's brilliant. He does all these companies that are successful. Richest man in the world.
I think you might be sick.
The second option we realized is, no, he
Gods and dragons
clearly
say you hated the yard.
Twitter.
Off of white dry, I think.
He overpaid by about $35 billion. That's, even if you thought it would have made sense, at a bare minimum, he overpaid by $22 billion. So that it was a clownish move, and as you're seeing him running, you're amazed at
I have
that
several
decision.
elixirs.
So now
Take a
there's
look.
another option, which is that maybe he's really smart in some things and a total idiot in others. But now that you see him struggle with, do I support this Hitler supporting Kanye, or do I ban him? And he goes back and forth on it a little bit. Now there's option number 3, which is, no, maybe he's just like Trump.
I'm back
Overall
anytime
idiot,
if you need a
but
remedy.
great at marketing. So like a carnival market, right? And just at a more sophisticated level than Donald Trump when it comes to business, right?
Nothing about
and so,
our
well, you said, first of all, guys, now that I look back at his other predictions, he said, well, SpaceX is going to take us to Mars. I remember thinking, look, man, I'm not a tech guy, but I read a little bit about this. For us to be able to go to Mars and to be able to live in Mars, it couldn't happen, it could happen. But given the rate of technology in our lifetimes, very, very unlikely. And yet this guy came out and said, we're definitely going to do it. And I was like, all right, maybe he knows something I don't know. Now the jury's starting to come in that he don't know anything that we don't know, okay? And is SpaceX going to Mars yet? Of course not. They're not even close. Huh? They're not even close. And then he says weird nonsensical things like, climate change is really bad on the planet, so we don't need to go to Mars. Have you seen Mars's climate? I mean, this is the most absurd thing in the world. I mean, if we had an absolute epic debacle here on planet Earth, thanks to his right-wing buddies driving climate change, we get to a situation
just can't fill in
where
all of
our
that
climate is
size on
like
my own.
Mars.
No, he plans
Yes.
to bring Teslas to Mars to get rid of the carbon emissions from their 500-degree temperature and get very close to it.
Yeah, it's absurd. It's absurd. So when he says, hey, I'm going to put these chips in your head,
have it,
because I'm
I'll
worried
take
that
the
AI
job.
is going to take
Don't
over,
expect
and I'm
a
going to have a robot run by AI.
I'm telling you, I heard it. Howling.
That doesn't
Those
make any
werewolf
sense
tales
at all.
are true.
If you're worried about artificial intelligence, you certainly wouldn't have a robot implanting chips in people's heads. It's like, it's Orwellian. He's telling you the exact opposite of things that are true. But at least when it comes to the right wing, they'll believe anything. So as long as they think you're right. So they're like, you know what, Fauci, man, he was trying to put those microchips in our head, in our blood through the vaccines. I'm not going to let him track us like that. Instead, I'm going to let Elon Musk put chips in my head. That'll let it track it easier.
Yeah. Listen, can we just start at the basis? Elon Musk is not very smart, right? Your dad.
What is that that comes that man speaks about what's going on the screen? Is that something?
When I heard shopping with rackets in it earns you cash back, I thought, well, that can't possibly.
Great purge is taking place in Florida school boards across our state down here. After the midterms, where lots of school boards, of course, were taken over by right-wing MAGA zealots, thanks, of course, to the ongoing attack on our public education system because teachers and administrators and superintendents had the audacity to try to protect kids at the height of the pandemic. That is exactly what is happening down in South Florida, where 2 school superintendents have now been forced out in the last few weeks because those 2 superintendents had mask mandates in place even after Florida Governor Ron DeSantis said you can't do it. But in addition to the Republicans who won positions on the school board, the leadership on those school boards has in fact been appointed by our authoritarian governor, Ron DeSantis. So DeSantis gets his political appointees down there running the schools.
Don't you walk away from me.
Conservatives sweep the elections in the state of Florida, so they take over all the school boards. And now they're systematically purging all of these people who, again, their big crime was saying, hey, kids, put on a mask so we don't get each other sick. Cool, thanks, guys. That was their crime.
These are educators. These are people who cared about the students.
But it sure looks like he's been hit.
And they're
I know it
paying
looks
the
bad.
price. They're
We've got to
losing
figure
their
out what
career
happened. And if that
because they
dragon is still
dared to
skulking
care
around somewhere.
about our
Spread out
kids.
and look for survivors. We need to know
If
what
this had happened in my area, I would absolutely be up at that school with a protest. This would be insane. Unfortunately, I live in a red area where we don't have to oust a superintendent who cared about the kids because we don't have that. We have a bunch of idiot right-wingers who cheered on DeSantis when he forced everybody back to school and said, don't wear a mask. My kids went to school with masks, and by the end of the day, when I'd pick them up, the masks would be in their pockets. Because the teachers obviously told them you don't have to wear it. I'm sure their friends were like, hey, you're wearing a mask, loser. And I know that's tough for kids. We all know how kids can ridicule one another. And we know how that can hurt kids' feelings, whether they say it or not. But it was for their protection. It was for my protection. It was for my parents' protection.
No, get back. It's still here somewhere. Sophie and Tor just got grabbed when they tried to make a run for it.
Godwin, what happened here? Where's this dragon? Quickly now!
I don't know.
Where they wanted to take care of the kids. Where they wanted
Here, let's save us. Here he comes again.
Here he comes!
Those are the
Find cover
administrators,
and make
those are the
every
superintendents, those are the teachers
count!
that are now being forced out by these right-wing zealots that have taken over the school board with Ron DeSantis' help, and God help the kids in the state of Florida, because things are bad as these Republicans continue to dismantle the entire education system here. I would like to know why you have not subscribed to our channel. You obviously like our videos, so do us a favor and subscribe.
You will not believe what this light can do. This is like a shower of light, and it's flushable.
This week, private theory, by the way, Kanye West. Donald Trump.
Give me your money.
I don't have any money.
You better give me 5 seconds right now or I'm gonna bloody your nose.
Rico's ass.
No, please. I really don't have any money.
I love Annihilate. I
I'll
love
give you 10 seconds tomorrow. Just don't hit me.
See, Chris, I thought you were trying to run, which is why I was trying to do a little double turnaround. You know, really. I was.
The guards in Dragon Street say you aided the yard. On behalf of Whiterun, I thank you.
Yes?
They're some of my favorite Pokemon in Pokemon. And
I'm telling you, I heard them howling. Those werewolf words are true.
The very idea is inconceivable to our elven overlords. Cherry
Melon is named after my friend Alfie. So when I first got the game, I got all these YouTubers who said, well, they figured out that her I knew when she would eventually see that she would be Melon is like an absolute has barely left my team because, like, really, it's been really helpful a lot of times. For catching Pokemon, especially, like, y'all.
oh, truck.
Oh, we got it. I'm not gonna hold out long.
Yeah, okay. This is okay. Yeah. Jackie's off the table. Off the table. Didn't even get a chance to go to see what he was doing.
Nope. I couldn't after the first turn because Melon's my last one here. So.
Oh,
I know what I'm wrong with. Okay. Yeah, you think a lot of it.
What is it that you need? By my right, Jarl, I name you Thane of Whiterun. It's the greatest honor that's within my power to grant. I assign you Lydia as a personal housecarl, and this weapon from my armory to serve as your badge of office. I'll also notify my guards of your new title. Wouldn't want them to think you're part of the common rabble, now would you?
Chris, I forgot! Oh my god, look at that. The weight of the world on it.
Double battles are things I'm not like too experienced with yet, so I'm like still trying to like build out my team, get my current team in a way that can complement it well.
Sure.
But also, I'm working on it.
Oh, nice. Nice gig. Okay.
I'm gonna work out.
Yeah.
But how much? But for how long? Fun fact, as I learned, the Pokemon, my Clodsire, my Melon, is actually very good for raids as well, especially if it's like a Ditto, because if there's any Pokemon that try to like use the same move, it can't. Apparently, raid Pokemon can't use moves that will make them disappear for a turn, like this. It just fails for them.
Oh.
So when I did a raid against the Ditto, a 6-star Ditto raid, it turned into my Clodsire, and it never attacked. It kept trying to use it.
Got it. Okay. Alright, let's try there.
I don't know what's gonna go, but I'll try it.
Okay, I like the bravery. I was going for I was flexing a little there, Chris, I'll be honest. Listen, I don't have a good squad out right now for this.
No, okay.
Yeah.
I get it. It's all I have left right now.
Yeah. Ooh, Sludge Wave. Ooh, Drip.
Okay, we'll go down.
Oh, it might. It still might.
Okay.
Yeah. Sharia.
I'm always so scared of Billy Bolt constantly charging up power after every hit.
I love how nebulous that charge up is. I'm always just like, how much we talking here? Okay, let's see. Grip.
Yep, okay.
Okay.
Alright. Let's go, Melon.
I need, oh, I didn't realize this was what I was down to. Oh, man. I thought I had at least one more than I do have. Oh, God, I was sitting in the shade. Okay, latte, let's go. Let's make something happen.
Latte and Dad.
Yeah, that is that.
Yeah, that's that. I did forget to add my, the ribbon for the champion to all of them. Oh, yeah, I only did it for a few. The ones that I feel really deserve. Well, obviously, it will work well for the team that made it through camp. Right. See if this helps. So, oh, nice. Faster. Surprising. Latte is not faster than that. Melon's a bit slow in general. Bit of a slower person. Okay, I got a one. Dad, how dare you? Not gonna work for me. Dad, why did you drink that? No. I really like my. I don't even know what the name is. I really like latte. So I feel like that high special defense stat is actually really nice. Especially for like yeah, really helpful. Okay. And that torch song upgrading, getting stronger. Oh, here we go. Let's see it. Yeah! There you go. Nice. Nicely done. Wow, that was fun. It was more fun than I was expecting, honestly. One battles, you never know. But that was great. Listen, we both got down to our final guy. Yeah. Wow. I made it pretty good. I started making a comeback again. Oh yeah, listen. I see that Pokemon. That's been neglected now. That was great. So that's going to do it for this video. Thanks for hanging out with us. Against each other, no sweat. You know what I mean? Maybe we'll be back later. Maybe we will do.
So, folks, the fallout continues for Old Donnie on two fronts that they really need together in this story particularly. Because it's all about how this
The Jarl
man
has appointed me to be your housecarl. It's an honor to serve you. As my Thane, I'm sworn to your service. I'll guard you. The Jarl has recognized you as a... The title of Thane is an honor, a gift for your service. Guards will know to look the other way if you tell them who you are. Honor to you, my Thane.
Illegally. But this is also connected to a new move by Donald Trump to openly threaten Judge Cannon, the judge who's done so much for him, ruined her career for him. He is now threatening her and trying to pressure her into yet making more decisions that will be blatantly against the law, but will also bail him out, putting her into an impossible position. But I want to get to this reality, guys, about how people are starting to condemn Donald Trump, but also some Republicans are defending him. We need to talk about this, because if you're looking for the sort of man that will put his thumb on the scale in the courts, the sort of man that views judicial appointments as bribes and quid pro quo, it's also the exact same kind of guy that at the end of the day will openly call for the Constitution to be torn apart. And at least some Republicans are calling him out. Well, they're the ones that are.
Welcome back to State of the Union. I'm Dick Tapper. Already there are questions about how Republicans will manage the new House majority. Former President Trump is bringing his own brand of chaos back to his party, just as Kevin McCarthy is trying to convince a rebellious conference to back him for Speaker. Our next guest says that fight will hurt the Republican Party just as it takes control of the House. And joining me to discuss, incoming Republican Congressman-elect Mike Lawler of New York. Congressman-elect, congratulations on your victory. I do want to ask you about something that the frontrunner for your party's presidential nomination, former President Donald Trump, wrote on his social media platform this weekend. The presidential election results of 2020 out and declare the rightful winner, or do you have a new election? Massive fraud of this height and magnitude allows for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution, unquote. So, Congressman-elect, what is your reaction to Donald Trump calling for the termination of the U.S. Constitution?
Well, obviously, I don't support that. The Constitution is set for a reason, to protect the rights of every American. And so I certainly don't endorse that language or that sentiment. I think the question for everyone is how we move forward. You know, I ran for Congress to address the challenges that we're facing and be forward-looking. Frankly, I think people are tired backwards. I think people are tired of discussing the grievances of prior elections, and they want to know what we're going to do to address the challenges. And I think the former president would be well advised to focus on the future if he is going to run for president again.
There. First one, he's right saying, like, a lot of people have committed political suicide, he would say. Like, a lot of people have been saying this. It's a really bad moment. And it's the sort of thing that will kill an already weak political comeback. And it's good to see some people say this. And it's been echoed by others as well.
Donald Trump, what he's done with Kanye West, his politics, what he's done with the Constitution, you know, is this time different? You know, Chuck, I don't think it's a good platform for a presidential campaign to say that we should just set the Constitution aside. And I feel like we've seen this, I think, progression to continue ever since January 6th. And, you know, candidly, as far as putting the Constitution aside, I can't even think that's what he asked the vice president to do 2 years ago when rioters were attacking the Capitol. He asked the vice president to overturn the Constitution. And so I think, unfortunately, this has been a consistent trend. Now,
well, it's a sign, guys, all of this. His whole disregard for law and order. It didn't just start yesterday when he's like burned the Constitution. It's been his entire life, frankly. But it started during his many years as president. And it also continued, especially through the big lie of J6. But the point is that this man is willing to use the tools of fascism, the implicit and explicit tools, to achieve and retrieve and maintain power. And obviously, guys, one of the dangers is that people in the GOP won't stand up to him. Here's one example where they sort of do, but they lack a real incisiveness, showing cowardice within the party.
Yesterday, the frontrunner for the Republican nomination, the standard bearer for your party, posted on Truth Social, and we know he lost the 2020 election, but continues to claim he did not. A massive of this type and magnitude allows for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution. Should the standard bearer for the Republican Party, the frontrunner for the nomination for the presidency for your party in 2024, say this?
Well, I first of all, vehemently disagree with the statement that Trump has made. Trump has made, 1,000 statements in which I disagree. There is a political process that has to go forward before anybody.
Constitutional conservatives are pretty clear about where they value the Constitution.
Right, exactly.
Is there any scenario
has to be.
spending time?
You can get your questions, buddy. You get to pick my answer.
I know, I'm trying to get.
There is a political process that has to go forward before anybody is even the candidate for the party. Absolutely, and I'll answer your question.
equally bad, right? Yeah, in a sense, he comes out and says, you know, it's not something that's consistent with our system, it's not something that's consistent with the oath. But there's not a really strong condemnation. There's a bit of pushback by the reporter, but it's almost like pulling teeth to get him to say, oh, this fashion thing that Donald Trump did, yeah, that's like totally unequivocally disqualified. And here's something even worse.
I have to ask you a question about Donald Trump's statement yesterday talking about suspending the Constitution. Speaking out of this tweet that you were, I don't know when it came out on this, whatever his new social platform is, but
Fresh off the boat. The freshest in Skyrim.
Fresh fish. Fresh fish.
A few bottles of spiced wine should hit the spot.
Of course. And I'm sure it's mostly for ceremonial purposes.
Plenty of ways to worship the
Apples,
divine.
tomatoes, leeks, and cabbages. Fresh and
Fresh
ripe.
fish.
Keep the cold.
Straight from the fjord.
Spiced wine. Spiced wine. The taste of home and heart.
Fruit. Fresh off the boat. The freshest in Skyrim.
Fresh fish.
Keep the
Fresh
cold
fish.
at bay. Spiced wine.
Get your fresh fruit and produce here.
The finest fish here. Caught daily.
Spiced wine. The taste of home and heart.
Fruit. Fresh off the boat. The freshest in Skyrim.
When you're tired and you're grumpy and you want to shout.
Pretend you're a dragon. No candidate has been more forceful.
Make sure our elections are honest.
Fresh fish. Straight from the fjord.
Fresh off the boat. The freshest in Skyrim.
And to me, this argument just sounds like we're basically seeking to use this undue power for our own good, instead of addressing the root cause and stripping this tool of its power. Considering that I run an RPG-focused YouTube channel, even though I have FPS in the name, I figured I'd do a video discussing how RPG Hogwarts Legacy will actually be. On everyone's favorite source of information, Wikipedia, it tells us that a role-playing video game is a video game genre where the player controls the actions of a character or several party members, immersed in some well-defined world, usually involving character development by the way of recording statistics. Scrolling down to characteristics, role-playing video games are where players control a central game character, usually called a party, and attain victory by completing a series of quests or reaching the conclusion of a central storyline. Players explore a game world while solving puzzles and engaging in combat. A key feature of the genre is that characters grow in power and abilities, and characters are typically designed by the players. RPGs rarely challenge a player's physical coordination or reaction time, with the exception of action RPGs. Now, the definition of RPG is going to change from source to source and player to player. And there may be some games that you consider as RPGs, while others don't quite think that they are. Trust me.
A lot of people like this make me feel excited, like, ooh. I do the whistle, wow. I like that.
I've been looking for you. Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only. Let's see. There's a new museum opening up in Dawnstone. Looks like that's it. Good to go.
She almost tripped.
The black bloods out there.
Nope. Sorry. Nothing. Mostly just worms.
Well,
Fresh fish.
fresh
They
fish.
slid it back up, but then like for real, was that just
Oh, they had to do that in reverse. I like it when they do that.
See those warriors from Hammerfell? They've got curved swords. Curved swords. I heard the gourmet is hiding out somewhere in Skyrim. You know, fellow who wrote that.
Yes?
James Bond.
Your boys tried to get very much.
Famous archaeologist.
No, I thought archaeologists were these funny little men searching for their monument.
Mummies.
You help people, right? That's what you do.
Oh, they give them a drink of gold in the environment? Oh, yeah, that's a steal.
Oh, wow. But dude, this is one of the river certificate thing on his forehead.
Hey, wanna play tag?
Papa says I want some raw beer.
Need something?
A method to your madness, and your madness is the method, and the melody.
Can't be kidding me.
You know what? Oh, shucks.
Tendrils of thought will wind their way through this realm, but those tendrils bind our reality together.
Look at this bunch of girl. Thought it was somebody else.
We lose that diamond like this.
Please, take pity on an old madman.
There's an Asian mafia on it.
There's so much going on right here. This is crazy. Oh wow, Indiana Jones did this? I wonder, was he the first one to do this?
I think he is.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't know, look at me lying. I think he might be. I think he is the one.
They
Like Rush Hour?
Yeah, they did this in Rush Hour.
Yeah, he was the first one to do it.
Well, actually, the thing that I was thinking of was from the movie The Scorpion King, but I could have sworn that I saw Jackie Chan do something like this. One of the things that I did find in my research that Rush Hour did take some references from Indiana Jones Temple of Doom, this scene in particular in Rush Hour 2. So that's cool. I guess I was half right? Right? There we go.
There goes my boy.
Get this little kid drum and he's whipping it too.
That's my guy right there. I love him.
Only movie I seen him in was The Goonies.
Oh, another kind of girl. Hey,
You better get his ass.
no. We got company.
He said, don't talk about love. We got company. I'm too young for that. No shooting.
You talking about no shooting? They shooting at us. You gotta shoot back.
Right. What are you supposed to do?
That man stupid.
He tried his best.
Get the wet on the screen again.
He wet to me. I mean, you know, he wet.
Roll it. Come on, girl.
She is good for nothing. You need to get rid of her.
She worried about them nails.
She is not a radical. You need to get rid of her.
I actually feel like this intro is better than this first one. I know a lot of people might feel differently, but that's why all films are subjective. Everybody got different opinions.
As you will be riding on a cargo or line portrait.
I think Dan Aykroyd in here too. I think it's the same year that Ghostbusters came out.
The infamous suit, outfit, the jacket, and the hat. What are you?
Supposed to be a lion tamer?
I'm a wild here, tag along. That would sound like something you would say.
I know, right?
That's right. That's the plan y'all come up with? Y'all don't want to just stab them while they sleep or something?
You call me Dr. Jones, dog.
Dr. Jones, dog. Oh, Dr. Jones.
Flying the plane.
Black train. I'm already dead. I seen that up down the heart attack. Ain't no way.
Oh my God, her dialogue is hilarious. Did they really have people in that boat there? Because I know back then they didn't really do CGI and all that. John Williams is killing it right here composing the score.
Oh, Lord Jesus Christ. All my 9 lives is gone.
Man, unfortunate set of events that she had to be mixed up in Indiana Jones' stuff.
What's in it?
She's like, I know you're breasting, and then back up.
I can't eat this. Girl, babies can't be choosers.
You're insulting them, and you're embarrassing me.
Exactly. Yeah, you got flies on there, you got extra flavor.
Can you provide us with a guide to take us to Delhi?
She's staring into her soul, making sure she eats everything off this plate.
What evil?
To find Shivalinga and bring back
Listen, you should be like you did now.
Says they stole their children.
Wow, man. That is tragic. You know, they got some little kids working too. Oh, he had steak. Look like he got whipped.
Little boy stayed with us. You go. Many of the children, he was there.
He was a brave little kid, man. With her fashion designer heels on. You didn't want to change your shit.
I can't go hang hot. I'm a singer. Oh, I need to call my agent.
Is she at home?
Yeah. So she's obviously the comedic relief in this movie, because I think a lot of people get annoyed with her very quickly. And I can see why. Don't try to blame her on the elephant. You already know you stink.
Right. Girl.
Isn't that animal? Man, they look like hawks or falcons.
You really need a bath. There you go.
Exactly.
The elephant is my best friend. He already knew what to do. That's right. Yeah.
Exactly. She stank and he putting water on her.
Right.
Well, that was a pretty shot right there. Okay. Okay. Alright, I see what you're talking about.
Tori's family were killed when the Japanese bombed Shanghai. He's been living on the streets since he was 4. I caught him trying to pick my pocket. Didn't I? Sure enough.
Oh my God.
Yeah. How was that? Yeah, he was annoyed. Like, yeah, she is annoying.
What is that bat doing down there?
When they still out her. You went out there, you know.
This thing is hilarious. I knew it. He was over there pickpocketing, and I knew you had something up this week.
You might be poor, no fun. The entire place is called Living Things.
Just chill out. You running all around the damn jungle.
Yeah, I think she her to the lion.
Right,
She is just weighing us down.
I ain't gonna lie though, I'll be exactly like her.
I would too. But she weighing us down. I'll be a little better.
I do not want to be in the woods anyway.
I need some eyeliner and everything in the woods to draw my eyebrows. You know?
I don't like being around a whole bunch of animals and you know what weirdos are in the woods talking.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
Part of the legend that's on her. He climbed Mount Kalisto where he meets Shiva.
Dr. Jones, and be faithful to the snake.
Well, there you go.
Said, cut it out!
You think you didn't see that? She would have freaked out. Indiana Jones wouldn't have did anything else. He hates me. They everywhere. Looks like the Wizard of Oz. God, they really carved that stone and then put fingers and ears on it. Oh, yes, it's pretty cool. Oh, they put thumbs. I didn't notice when I was back here. I'm just noticing now. It's been so long since I've seen it, but I didn't notice a lot of it. This is devil worshiping right here. White Jones, Rob Creek.
A rock.
You already knew he was a villain. You ready? Why? Who wants to eat that? Like now.
I have heard the evil stories that the soldiers told. I thought the stories were told to frighten children. I'm ashamed of what happened here so many years ago.
Well, that's cool that most kid knows his history. I mean, with him being the Madajalaje or whatever, you better know the history. You really don't know what's going on. What? Yay! I thought we was in a palace. Y'all eating food that would be like in a tribe or something.
Chilled monkey brain.
It's your monkey brain. Y'all ain't got no chips?
I think I'll just check on Willie.
Tell me later what happened.
Little kid is too grown.
Yeah, so cute though. Oh, you're a very nice man. Maybe you could be my palace slave.
Oh, no, I'll throw that apple at your face. That's what I promise.
Were your jewels to bed, princess?
And the beans.
Oh, okay, so she flirting, all right.
And what sort of research would you do on me?
So y'all want to close the door first?
Right, little dude gonna come see. Ooh, I see you, Dr. Jones. I see you.
I mean, this is just coming out of nowhere, though. They haven't really shown no romantic tension until now.
As a scientist, I don't want to stretch this my experiment. I'll let you know in the morning.
Why, you conceited ape. I'm not that easy.
What? All the stuff you just saying, yeah. Come on. What?
Uh-oh. Go on.
Well, you told me you was here this whole time and you didn't do nothing to this little kid?
You ain't the little kid on here like you don't.
I could have been your greatest adventure.
I just love the signature shots that they show in these Indiana Jones movies. The shadows on the wall and the close-up on Indiana Jones' face. Oh my God! So I guess they only did one Indiana Jones. Alright. So I guess that dude with the glasses sent him to his room.
He's over here.
No, I'm here. Hey, right here.
I was wondering if she was going to say something.
Step where I step, and don't touch anything.
Don't touch something.
I step where you step. I touch nothing.
Bebe's do. That's exactly what Bebe's do.
Yeah, he's a hard ass kid. That's another thing I like with the Indiana Jones movies. They be adding these jump scares because people don't really expect it. Whoa, what is that?
Stop. Stand up against the wall, will you?
Hey, so many people were killed here. Oh my goodness. That is terrifying. Right now, all I can think about is Luke Skywalker screaming at 3PO.
One thing's for sure, we're all going to be a lot thinner.
God, what is this? Right.
Oh, hurry up. What is that?
Outward die. All them bugs on me, I will lose it. Oh,
It looks like a leaf.
Do it now!
Right.
You are going to die.
I think that's an iconic shot. I think I've seen that before. Wow. This is like a horror movie right here.
Right. That was
Oh my God. Golly, it took you long enough and then you did that.
Wait. She was too much.
You gotta get the hat.
You got to get the hat.
Yeah, so like I said earlier, I'm seeing like a recurring thing here. They did the same few things in the first movie that they're doing right here, which is pretty cool. I'm not saying like, oh wow, they rehash and stuff. I really like that they're doing that.
It's so many little exciting things that make you jump and make you like them. Even as many years as it was, still you get you, excited and hyped. Anxiety, like, ooh.
I thought adventurers were supposed to look tough.
Oh, they're gonna call me my dude. I know him. I've seen that on the Family Guy. Oh, I like how they did that right there. That was cool. With the music and everything.
Well, whatever he got on his head will scare you enough.
I have no business with you. Leave me.
Oh, like the Mortal Kombat stuff right there. And his chest deal.
Go away. I have more important things on my mind right now.
If they drop him in lava.
Whoa.
This ritual is crazy.
Shot me before I even get it. This is good. Look, it's hard. Set up for entertainment. I know he is.
Yo, this is more messed up than what happened at the end of the first Indiana Jones movie when their faces melted off and heads exploded.
This was my favorite one about Indiana Jones.
Oh, a heck of a presentation, man.
Shorty, you keep an eye on them.
What? Where you going?
I'm not leaving here without the stones.
You're gonna get killed taping up your damn horse in glory.
Maybe, but not today.
There's the four with that charm. He's like, oh, that tastes kind of good. And he got her one. Man, I cannot wait for the new Indiana Jones video game to come out. Hope it's going to be something like the Tomb Raider games or Uncharted. Take your sweet time, Indiana Jones. I want to know what you do.